Hello, Dinky Danny here. Today I'm reviewing the game Heavy Rain for the PlayStation 3. It was developed by Quantic Dream and released in February 2010. This game's unlike any game I've played before, so in this review I'm going to try and explain how the game works and why I enjoyed it. The game begins with you controlling the main character, Ethan Mars. You start by getting him out of bed and wandering around his house. The beginning portion of the game acts as kind of a small tutorial, explaining the game's controls, how you're able to interact with the items and environments throughout the game. The controls are one of the main factors that make this game really unique, so I'm going to go over those first. As you begin playing Heavy Rain, you'll see action event icons on the screen indicating that you can interact with an item or trigger an event by pressing buttons or performing similar motions on your PlayStation controller. Some actions might only require you to press one button, while others might require you to hold down multiple buttons at the same time, and sometimes you even have to shake the controller itself. Here I'm just going to show a quick example of a simple sequence where Ethan's doing a little bit of architectural work, and it'll kind of show you how the action event icons match up with the controller. I was a little worried at first about whether the controls would take away from the experience of the game, but that definitely isn't the case. Even during intense fight scenes, the QuickTime events had me on the edge of my seat, really trying not to mess up. And for people who aren't real good at QuickTime events, they allow you to change the settings depending on how well you know your controller. So if you don't play too many games, they allow you more time so you don't have to ignore the scene just to figure out what buttons to press. And you'll see more examples of the controls throughout this review. Next, I'll talk about the story in Heavy Rain. I'm not going to go into too much detail because the story is definitely something that you're going to want to experience for yourself. You find out early in the game that there's a serial killer nicknamed the Origami Killer. He kidnapped young children and drowns them with rainwater.
The state in which the body was found suggests the methodology of the Origami Killer.
The interesting part about the story and scenarios in Heavy Rain is that you're able to make direct choices deciding how things play out. As you play through a particular scene, you'll have multiple options as to what you want to do. Here I'm just going to show a short clip of one of these scenarios. You enter a convenience store hoping to get some information from a clerk who's a father of one of the Origami Killer's victims.
Can I help you, sir?
You introduce yourself and start asking questions about the Origami Killer, and the clerk wants nothing to do with you. He's angry at the police that they didn't do anything, and he doesn't want to give you any information.
My son is dead, Mr. Shelby. I have nothing more to say.
As I work my way to the back of the store to find an inhaler, some punk kid comes into the store and pulls a gun on the clerk.
Good evening, sir. Are you looking for something in particular?
Give me what you got in the register. Don't fucking try anything.
I now have the option to hide in the back of the store and let things play out, or I can try to sneak up behind the kid and take him out. There are thousands of choices that you'll have to make throughout this game, and while not all of them have a direct impact on the outcome of the story, they can lead to different paths through the game and many different endings, and even the main characters can die. So as you're playing through, it's up to you what you want to happen, and everybody's playthrough will be different. So that explains what the game is about and how it works. Next, I'm just going to go over some of the reasons why I enjoyed this game so much. First, I've always been a fan of psychological thriller films, and that's pretty much what this game is. Imagine watching a suspenseful psychological thriller in your living room, but you're the one who gets to choose what happens next. When an exciting scene comes up in Heavy Rain, you're going to be on the edge of your seat with your heart racing, wondering what you're going to do next.
Looks like Nathaniel Williams is a pretty religious guy.
He's a God-fearing idiot, waiting for the end of the world.
Here's a scene where you and a partner are illegally searching a suspect's apartment. The suspect arrives home and finds you snooping around.
I'm Agent Norman Jaden, FBI. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
As God is my witness, I haven't done anything. I'm innocent.
As the situation escalates, you need to decide whether you want to intervene and stop your partner from illegally using force on this suspect, and what will happen if you don't.
You are the Antichrist.
Put down the gun,
I shall
Nathaniel.
dispatch you to your father in hell. He is the son of Satan. He was sent to earth to destroy us. For Christ's sake, shoot!
Do you shoot him, or do you talk him down? As you play through Heavy Rain, you'll be confronted with plenty of decisions that you need to make, just like this one. The only major problem I had with Heavy Rain is that I ran into quite a few glitches. There were visual glitches, audio glitches, and sometimes the game would just freeze and I'd have to restart it. Your first time playing through Heavy Rain should probably take you about 10 hours, and then after you complete the game you're able to go back and play any scene that you'd like, and you can also replay the game and get a whole different scenario by choosing different options. I definitely recommend this game to anyone who owns a PlayStation 3. The graphics look great, the voice acting's well done, the soundtrack matches the mood perfectly, and the story keeps you wanting more. So if you like psychological thrillers, definitely pick this game up. I'm going to give Heavy Rain a score of 9 out of 10. I'm Dinky Dana, and thanks for watching.